Today we can discuss about source of data. Before going into the source, we can discuss about what is data. Data are the simple facts and pieces of information that we are collecting for understanding, analysis, and decision making. So, that are the unprocessed facts and figures. So, data are the raw facts and pieces of information that we are collecting for our study purpose, research purpose, etc. And it is collected for understanding, analysis, and the decision making. Data is mainly divided into two types: qualitative data and quantitative data. If the data is descriptive, then it is known as qualitative, and if the data is numerical, then it is known as quantitative data. So, coming into the main topic, source of data, it means the source that where we are getting the data from where we are getting the data, that is means source of data. It is mainly divided into two types: primary source of data and secondary source of data. If we are collecting data directly by ourselves for the first time for a specific purpose, then it is known as primary source of data. Like, primary data is first hand original data collected by ourselves. Like, the example is like asking students about their study habits or interview kind of things, that is coming under primary source of data. And the secondary source of data means that are the data that is already collected or recorded by someone else, and it is used by another person for their own study. So secondary data is second hand and already available data that is already collected or recorded by another person. And the example is like referring to statistics from a published research paper that is already published one. So, primary source of data. Primary source of data means data that is collected directly by the researcher for the first time for a specific purpose. It is like the examples for primary source of data is surveys or questionnaires, interview, observation, and a experiment. Others are case study, oral histories, documents and records, then experiments. These all are coming under primary source of data. These are the primary source of data, and the features are like that will be original and authentic, and it is collected for a specific study, and it is more accurate, but it will take more time to collect and record. Next, secondary source of data. It refers to data that is already collected and recorded by someone else and used by a researcher for a new study. So it is recorded and collected by someone else, but it is using by another person. The sources are like books and textbook, government reports, census data, newspapers, magazines, websites, journals. These are the sources of secondary data, and the features are like it is easily available in the libraries and in the bookshop. It will be easily available, and it is not that much time consuming compared to primary source of data, and the cost will be very less, and it may not be accurate or up to date, like by it will not be up to date. Now, the difference between primary source of data and secondary source of data. First, about the source. The primary data will be collected by the researcher itself for the first time, and the secondary one will be collected by others and will used by another person. And the purpose is it is specific to current research. It will be specific to current research, and the secondary data will be may have different original purpose. And about the time, primary source of data will take long time to collect, and the secondary data will be quickly available. It will be already available data, and people will refer that data for their study. And about the cost, the primary data will be more expensive because they are doing that experiment or collecting that data for the first time, so it will need more resources to collect, so it will take more expensive, and the secondary source will be less expensive. About the control, the full control over collection process, that researcher or the person will have the full control over the collection process, and the person who is referring that data will not have control over the collection process in secondary source. And the accuracy in primary data, they are generally more accurate for a specific needs. In secondary data, it is maybe less accurate for a specific needs. And the fresh about the freshness, in the primary source the data will be up to date, and in the secondary one, that can be outdated, it may not be up to date. So that's it. Data is an essential part of any study, and it can be collected from primary and secondary sources. Primary data is original and collected directly by the researchers, but it is time consuming, while the secondary data is already available, making it easy and quick to use, but it will not take that much time. So this is all for today. We will learn about the source of data and the about the data in the next class. Thank you.